Hello.
How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Pretty good. Good.
Yes.
Excellent. I'm doing okay too. And can you see and hear me okay?
Yes, I can see you clearly.
Okay. Yep. Same for me. Excellent. Welcome to Cambly. My name's Tony. And what's your name?
Yeah, my name is Ali. I'm calling from Seoul, South Korea.
Oh, okay. 안녕하세요. Hello.
Oh,
I
wow.
only know just hello, but very
Oh,
nice. I'm from the
have you
USA,
ever
but
been in South Korea before?
no,
No?
no, no.
I
Unfortunately,
think
not.
you got a some Korean student, right?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Probably. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, I'm from the USA, but I live in Cambodia, so like right
Uh-huh.
now for me it's 3 p.m. So a lot of my students are Asian. Yeah, just because of the
Yeah.
time of day that I teach.
Ah,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, but never South Korea, not yet. I would love to. I've only been to Cambodia, honestly. This is my first country outside of the
Mm-hmm.
US, but I've been here for
Wow.
3 years now. Yeah,
Um,
I'm
um,
I'm ready to move.
Yes. To be honest, I haven't been outside of South Korea
Hmm.
now.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
I'm
it's
just
it's normal.
preparing international language like this.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good. I mean, unfortunately, Korean is only spoken in Korea, right? So
Yes,
English
exactly.
is spoken everywhere. Yeah,
Yeah, English
that's a good idea.
is as for me in South Korea, speaking English is not common here. Just
Mm,
we are learning English as a foreign language.
right. Yeah, it's like. But so let me ask you this: as a child, do you have to take English in school?
I learned. I have learned from
Like not like for everybody. Like I know in Japan and
yeah, yeah.
maybe China. Yeah.
Basically, students start to learn English from third grade in elementary
Mm,
school.
okay. Yeah,
Pretty
I see.
late than other country.
Yeah, yeah. The earlier the better. Definitely. The earlier you start a language, the better your accent will be and things like that. If you wait
Yes,
till you're an adult to turn like when I speak Cambodian, I'm sure my accent is terrible. Like they can't even understand me half the time. It's very difficult. But
yes.
yeah. So okay. So you want to well, let me ask you. Well, I am an English teacher, so I can
Mhm.
definitely help you improve. What are your English goals? Why are you on Cambly?
Um, um, Actually, I'm a housewife, ordinary housewife as a two little boys' mom. They're
Oh, no.
5 and 7. I
Oh,
just
okay.
want at the first time I just want to help their English subject, but
Hmm.
in the future. But
Yes.
now I'm enjoying my own language, new language like this.
Mm. Okay, so it's kind of like just like a hobby for you, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Okay.
100% hobby.
Okay. Well, it's good. That means you have a passion for it, right? That means
Mhm.
because it is hard work, and if you're willing, if you love it, you're willing to work hard, definitely. So
Mhm.
okay, yeah, that's interesting. Well, let me ask you, like, as you know, with English there are like four branches, right? So we have speaking, listening, reading, and writing. So what
Yeah.
do you think is your strength and weakness?
Um, my strength is, I think, reading.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But my weakness is speaking. I think so because
Hmm.
speaking experience is very rare. Um,
All right.
I haven't spoken with a native speaker
Uh, mhm. Well, I can't
in
tell. I mean, you're doing really good. I think honestly, Ellie, I think I've heard a couple things. I think you should be more confident with your English. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good, honestly. I think you could teach your boys now a little bit of English, like so be confident. I think you're doing great. So,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, exactly. Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah, and also you want me to correct you after every mistake I hear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sure. I'll make notes in the chat or something. Okay,
Yeah,
so reading is your strength, and speaking you think is your weakness, and I
yeah.
think your speaking is pretty good, so your reading must be very good.
You know,
So,
most of South Korean, especially adult,
mhm,
they're in my ages.
mhm.
They we didn't, we
I would
didn't
say at my age.
at my age we didn't have any experience with the foreign people. So we
Mhm.
most of
Oh,
people
really? Wow,
at my age they're speaking
interesting.
pretty weak.
Hmm. Right. That's interesting, though. I mean, I can understand, like in Cambodia, like not many, honestly, not many foreigners come here. But
Hmm.
like South Korea is so famous and popular. I'm surprised, like, you don't have more experience. Like everyone in America knows about Seoul and even Busan and things
Oh
like this.
yeah,
From the movie
zombie.
Train to Busan. Yeah, exactly. That's it. But yeah, so I'm surprised, like you don't have more opportunities to speak English, but it makes sense. I mean, in Cambodia here, in the town that I live in, no one speaks English. It's very difficult. It's
Uh-huh.
like they sometimes, like I would say maybe 10% of the people know a little bit, or they go like, "Hello, brother, you want tuk tuk?" Like that's not good though. You can't have a
Yeah,
conversation.
that's
So
hilarious and
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. Well, I live in a small town, so they really have no experience with foreigners, so they only speak Cambodian here. But
Hmm.
yeah, so I see it, and it's well, let's I think well, it sounds like to me the best thing for you would be free conversation. What do you think?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Hmm. Okay.
When I last year
Hmm.
I got a last of article, especially from Angu
Oh yeah,
article.
yeah. I love
Yes,
Ingu. Yeah. Hmm.
and I got a yeah um I spotted some basic topics from
Hmm.
Angu, but
Hmm.
that is at the first time that helped me a lot, but
Hmm.
um, after several months later, I'm getting I'm getting bored. I'm getting
I see.
bored. Yeah, boring about
Oh,
about
I would
that.
say I'm getting bored with
Yeah,
that.
I'm getting bored. Yes,
Hmm.
so
I see.
I think that makes uh,
Hmm.
me me not that makes that not to makes me fluent. So
Okay, so how can we um okay. Let
that
me
didn't
think.
make
Okay.
that didn't make
Yeah,
me
didn't better.
yeah
Hmm.
me
So
fluent.
you're not seeing positive results from Ingu. So like
Mm.
okay, I'm trying to like so very close, but how could we say it even better? So
Mhm.
last year, let me see. Last year I used to do a lot of Ingu articles,
Yes.
but I feel like um, I didn't achieve I before E fluency. Fluency. Okay. Fluency. Last year I used to do a lot of Ingu articles, but um, I feel
Yeah,
like I
getting bored.
didn't.
Getting bored.
Yeah, yeah. Feel like I. Well, that's the other thing, right? You can lose the passion, and you don't want to do that, right? You'll lose the love for it. So I didn't achieve fluency. Also, I got pretty bored with it. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Last year I used to do a lot of Angu articles, but I feel like I didn't achieve fluency. Also, I
Hmm.
got pretty bored with it.
Yeah.
So I though I'm I'm thinking in learning English is very important. So I should keep going. So I thought the most important is consistency of
Hmm.
of
Definitely.
working. Yeah.
Hmm. Definitely. I agree. Hey, you don't want to, for example, you don't want to practice every day for a year and then stop doing it. Then you're going to lose all of your progress, right? And go back
Hmm.
to maybe not all of it, but it's good to, yeah, you're supposed to maintain, yeah, keep
Yes,
doing it,
exactly.
you know?
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maintain.
definitely. I agree with that. But yeah,
Hmm.
so I mean, like Ingu, I do love Ingu, but it's not like, for example, like Ellie, if you wanted to become a regular student of mine, Ingu, like if we were to have everyday classes, Ingu is not. I don't recommend doing it every day because it can get boring.
Yes.
But the same thing with free conversation as well. Like if a lot of my students they book with me every day and they want to do free conversation, and we kind of run out of things to talk about. Like we talk about Taiwan and China and Ukraine and Russia, and it's
Yes.
like we run out
Yeah.
of topics. Yeah,
Yes,
because
that's
30
same on me.
minutes,
Yeah, same on
yeah, you
me.
can, for 30 minutes, that's a long time. You can talk about a lot of stuff in 30 minutes. So
Yeah.
if,
That topics are already boring.
yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, I understand. Definitely. And I'm more of like myself, I'm more of an introvert. So it's a little bit harder for me to talk. I can do it, but it wears me out a lot. So, but yeah, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like it's all about
Yeah, I
balance,
agree.
right? So
Mhm.
yeah, it's all about balance. And as I mentioned, I am a teacher. So I have many resources on my computer. I have textbooks and all types of stuff. I was going to recommend for you, Ellie, because I think you are an advanced English speaker. I would always recommend to you, like maybe studying idioms. That's always
Idioms.
very
Yeah.
important. Yeah. Do you know idioms?
I know just this, a few idioms.
Hmm. Okay. What do you know? Which ones?
Piece of cake.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
On the cloud nine,
Oh wow.
etc.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one. Yeah, very good. So yeah, like an idiom, that's very important because if you speak to a native, like myself,
Mm-hmm.
we use them all the time, and we don't even know we are using them. So, an idiom, try to remember it like this: it's a sentence or a phrase that native English speakers use with each other. And the thing is, they often cannot be taken literally. So that's why they're so confusing, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they're not what they sound like. Let me make sure I spell everything right. My keyboard's been, I think I need a new keyboard. It's a Cambodian
Wow,
one. It's not,
fantastic.
it's been like double letters sometimes. So I keep misspelling words. It's making me
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
Idiom,
But
a sentence
mhm.
or a phrase that native English speakers use with each other. They often cannot be taken liber- um, literally.
Yeah, literally. Hmm. So
Literally.
it's like a piece of cake. It's not literally a piece of cake. It has nothing to do with cake, right? At all.
Hmm.
It just means easy, right? So the
Yes.
same thing like it's raining cats and dogs outside,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yes,
If
yes.
it was literal, then there would actually be cats and dogs falling out of the sky. That's not good, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, that's why they're confusing because in English learner they'll be like, "What are you talking about? Cats and dogs? Where?" So yeah, I always recommend brushing up on idioms. It's
Yeah, I heard the cat and dog
yeah, that's common
several
too.
times before.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, it wouldn't be good if it was literally cats and dogs. It'd be like cats falling out of the sky, right?
Wow, you were real.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, idioms are always a good thing to study. But yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, also a thing I would recommend is, do you know what a synonym? Not a synonym. A synonym is? What is a
Synonym.
synonym? Hmm.
Um, yeah,
You
little
know?
bit.
Okay. So the key to remember that is SSS, right? So synonyms. Let me make sure I spell it right.
Hmm.
Synonym. They're the same or similar, right? SSS.
Yeah, synonym is pretty hard than other
Yeah.
words. Hmm.
Well, yeah.
Same.
Yeah. Right.
LOL.
Just
Yeah, for
yeah.
example,
Yeah.
LOL.
No, no, not quite. That's an acronym. That's something else. That's laugh
Mhm.
out loud, right? A
Yes.
synonym just means same or similar, like big and huge. Those are synonyms, right? Big, large, huge, giant, gigantic, humongous. Those are synonyms. Now, I
Ah.
always recommend these two because you can increase your vocabulary, right? If
Mm-hmm.
you, because like you already have, like I would say a good foundation of English, right? Like you can take a word that you already know and that you know well, like happy or something, and you can look up synonyms.
Huge and enormous
Hmm. Right.
are synonyms, right?
Yep. Right.
Mm.
So yeah, like you can take a word that you know already, big, and then switch it with a bigger word that means the same thing,
Yes.
and it makes you
Mm-hmm.
seem smarter if you do that, right? So
Yes.
like, let's think of some. So big, large, huge, enormous. Um, what else? What are some other synonyms for big?
Giant,
Yep, giant, good. Large, huge, enormous, giant, gigantic.
gigantic,
Massive. You know that one?
massive. Yes,
Yeah.
massive one.
Uh, a lot. Large, huge, enormous, giant, gigantic, massive. Humongous. That's an
Humongous.
interesting one. Yeah. So yeah, these all mean big, right?
Yeah.
So that's a good way to increase your vocabulary because, like Ellie,
Yes.
you know how to use big. You know what big is, right? So you can just take it and switch it with one of these bigger words, and it makes you sound like you know more English than you do, right? It's
Yes.
like a trick.
Yes. I totally agree with your opinion. That
Mm-hmm.
makes me advanced, more advanced
Yep.
and fluent.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. Right. Like I
Mhm.
said, you can take a word that you use every day and just look up synonyms and, like eat or something. And like, oh, after lunch, I will go home to eat. So you can look up, you just break it down and look up each word and then look it up on Google.
Yeah,
After,
yeah, that's
yeah,
right. That's right.
yeah, it's a good way.
Most of the student, they're at the first time they're when they start to learn English, they say, for example, this is um, this is I would get there already, but when they're intermediate, about I got a full I get there after about 3 minutes. There when they're be intermediate or advanced, their um, there can use instead of about approximately,
Right,
roughly,
right.
yeah,
Hmm.
etc. Yes.
Yeah, it's like a secret, right? It's
Yes.
that's how you do it, right? If you know how to use about, that's the thing, Ellie. It's you can't if you're a beginner, synonyms are not good. First, you
Mm-hmm.
need to learn big. You need to learn big. You need how to learn it learn how to use it correctly, right? Or properly. There's another synonym.
Yes.
But yeah, so that's the first step: learning what big is, learning how to use it and correctly, and then you can take and swap it for other words
Mm-hmm.
like enormous, right?
Yes.
So that's the key. Yeah, that's what like with my advanced English learners, I always focus on idioms or synonyms or ingu or something like that. It's good to mix
Mm-hmm.
it up, right? Because you don't want it to get
Yes.
bored.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. You have to keep it fresh. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, let's. I have an idea. So we have about 10 minutes left. Let's go into some idioms. Let's. I want to test your knowledge and see how good you do. What do you think?
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's great. But
Okay.
my I'm lacking about that.
Hmm. What about idioms? Oh, you're
Yes,
lacking.
idioms.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
What
idioms.
do you mean?
Yeah, I'm very I didn't know about that.
Oh, it's
Then you
okay.
saw. Then you
That's
saw.
why I'm here, right? Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry. yeah, some of them are hard and some of them are easy, but it's one of those things, Ellie, where you kind of need a teacher to help you because, like I said, they can't be taken literally. They can be confusing, right? So
Yes.
if you try to do it yourself, it's like what are they talking about, right? So I have a good one. Let's start in alphabetical order.
Hmm.
So a dime, a dozen. Have you
A
heard that before?
dime, a dozen.
A dime, a
Um,
dozen.
that means I think those are same thing, same thing. No.
Hmm. No. Well, let's break it down. So a dozen is what? It's a number. How many is it? Dozen. You know.
Dozens. 10 cent, a 10 cent,
Well,
right?
a dime is 10 cents, correct. But a dozen is 12. Means 12.
12.
Yeah.
ten
So if you say,
cent.
"Oh, I need to go to the market and buy a dozen eggs," right? You're going to buy 12 eggs, right? Yeah. So a dime. Good job. It's 10 cents, right?
Yes,
So
10 cent. A
so this is really
thousand.
saying 12. This is really saying literally this is 10 cents for 12. Now, it's an idiom, so it's not literal. It just
Mhm.
means something very common. So a dime a dozen is something very common.
Ah, I thought that means those are very cheap, but those are
Well,
very
it's
common. Yeah,
it's it's close, but yeah, it's not. That's what
those are
you'd
very
think,
common.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
something very
something. But common
wow.
can be
Good
cheap, so
expression. Yeah.
they're similar. Well, let me ask you, Ellie, what is something that is very common in South Korea?
Um, I think in market,
Hmm.
grocery, apple, apple, apples.
Okay.
Yeah.
So apples are a dime a dozen in Korea. You could say that. But like
Diamond.
maybe like well, like so in Cambodia, cafes, coffee shops, they're
Oh
everywhere.
yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. So cafes in Cambodia are a dime a dozen. That's how you'd use it. But yeah, apples are okay. Yeah, yeah, are a dime a dozen.
We call the like that in South Korea. Um, that's kicked. That's kicked. So that's very common.
Oh, keep.
Yeah, like stones, like little
Oh,
stones.
okay, yeah, yep.
Yeah, that
Hmm.
means
That's what it means. Yep, same thing. Like sometimes it doesn't have to be a bad thing, but it can be a bad thing most of the time. I think like let me get an example I always give for it
ah.
is I don't watch. This will make sense. I don't watch. Um,
I have a ridiculous one
okay.
in South Korea.
Hmm.
If you come if you go to the fancy club,
Uh-huh.
you can see so many beautiful girls there.
Oh,
You
nice.
you you can say like this. Oh, today's water is good. Water is good. That means um um
Word is good.
yeah, water is
Or
good.
oh,
Mm, yeah,
oh,
that
okay. I
means
got you. The world is
yeah.
good. Okay.
There are so many beautiful girl and
Hmm.
cool guys are there.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, is it maybe like something like
Mood is good. Mood is good.
I'm wooed? So I'm trying to think like we have this in English. Like, is it something like this? Today is a good day, kind of like that. I don't know. I'm a
Today is
bit
a good
confused.
day. Um,
Yeah. So
I don't.
if I go to a fancy club and there's a lot of beautiful girls, what would I say?
Ah,
The world is
today.
good.
Yeah, we said that water is good. Maybe the boss. both or management are
Hmm.
management the water management.
Oh, so
That
that
means
word I don't hear. Are you saying world, like Earth, world?
water,
This one?
water, water,
Oh, water.
water,
Water? Okay.
water.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
management.
Well,
They are managementing
hmm,
water. Water means there are so many
water.
good girl and beautiful
Hmm.
girl and cool guys
Hmm.
out
Okay.
there.
Interesting. Oh, it sounds that is an idiom. Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's
Yeah, Korean idiom.
every yeah, right. Every country has their own. A very common one. I, so in Cambodia, I know this one. I want to see if you know what this. I think you might know what this one means. Apparently, like every country has the same one. Um, let's see. Do you know this one?
To care to birds with one stone.
Yes.
Um,
To kill two birds with one
that's
stone.
that's very economical.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It just means to do two things at once, right? To be
Mhm.
to multitask,
Very
right?
lucky day.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah, you could say like, oh, like, yeah, I don't know. You can go. It's hard to think, but yeah, yeah, to do two things at once, right? So I could be teaching and writing an exam and to kill two birds with one stone, with one stone.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, very
Ah,
common. They had the same in Cambodia too.
that means
Hmm.
I can catch two things at
Hmm.
once, right?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Same thing. To kill two birds with one stone. Yeah, I just or stones. But yeah, so I mean, literally, you take a stone and kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah,
So
that's
the
very
birds you
lucky
want to
day.
eat. Right.
Mhm.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. So yeah, lucky or to do two things at once. Yeah. To
Yes.
multitask. Yeah, the very common
Mm-hmm.
one. But
Multitask. Yeah.
yeah, 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 it's very common. But yeah, that's let me think about that. But yeah, two things at one time. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, a blessing in disguise. I wrote the example. I don't watch Marvel movies anymore because they're a dime a dozen, right? So the it can mean something bad most of the time. Like you could, it doesn't have to, but most of the time, if something's very common, it's not great. Like um, McDonald's are a dime a dozen in Seoul. I'm sure, right? They're
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. I'm sure. Not in Cambodia, but in
Ah,
America especially,
really?
McDonald's are everywhere. Yeah, they don't have them here, unfortunately. But I wish I do miss McDonald's actually. But yeah, that's there. We have 2 minutes left. Let me ask you this one. This is a hard one. So let's kind of dissect this one a little bit. So a blessing in disguise. So do you know what a disguise is?
Yeah, I know because I read lots of kids book. So
Mm-hmm.
I found disguise
Mm-hmm.
um
Yep,
people several
you
times.
got it. That's it.
Mhm.
It's like a costume, right?
Yeah,
And
Arabian night. 40
yeah, yeah,
thieves, 40 thieves.
yeah, right. You need a
Yeah,
costume,
they
right?
were disguised.
Yeah, right. If you're going to commit a crime, you need a disguise, right? Or they can
Yes,
find out who it was. But yeah, so a disguise is like a
the
costume, or you're
costume,
in hiding, or incognito, which just means in
incognito.
hiding. Mhm.
Uh-huh.
So if you're going to rob a bank, you need to be incognito, right? You need to be
Incognito.
in hiding. Yeah. But
Mm-hmm.
so a blessing in disguise, a blessing is like a good thing, right, from God, right? So it's literally a good thing that seemed bad at first. So it's kind of a specific one. It's a good thing that seemed
Mm-hmm.
bad at first, right?
Things seemed bad at first.
Right. So like day one, you're like, oh my God, this is so bad. I'm so angry. But day 100, looking back, you're like, oh, I'm glad that happened. That was a good thing. I'm so happy.
Hmm.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a hard one, but maybe next time we can continue on with that, Ellie. It was
Yes.
yeah, it's
Um.
nice to meet you. It was
Yes.
fun.
Time flies.
So, yeah, it does. Time flies when you're having fun. That's another idiom.
Hmm